payday with the ABSA Salary Advance. Get a convenient and quick short-term loan payable in 3 months at an affordable rate. Get the support you need when you need it and keep your story going. Call 5950 for more details. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
Hello, my name is Imelda Chukati with the news. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on African countries to leverage the digital space as a catalyst for economic development. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mlenga has emphasized the importance of engaging with the former leaders to identify more effective governance strategies. The United Party for National Development, UPND, has accused the opposition Patriotic Front PF of exploiting Catholic clergy to advance a tribalism agenda. The Football Association of Zambia FAS has appointed Dennis Makinka as head coach of the Under-17 boys national team.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
President Hakainde Hichilema has called on African countries to leverage the digital space as a catalyst for economic development. Speaking during the 3rd Digital Government Africa Summit, President Hichilema emphasized that digitization should be embraced as a transformative tool capable of unlocking vast business opportunities across the continent. He underscored the need for Africa to take a leading role in building economies through digital innovation, noting that a robust digital ecosystem can help generate revenue to support vulnerable populations. The president also advocated for the creation of digital platforms that accurately measure the size and performance of African economies, arguing that current global assessment tools often undervalue the continent's economic potential. President Hichilema further stated that accurate economic data would enhance Africa's ability to engage in high-value transactions and attract greater investment. He highlighted the importance of digital platforms in ensuring the success of the African Continental Free Trade Area and proposed the adoption of a unified African identification credential to facilitate cross-border access and integration. In a significant announcement, President Hichilema revealed that Zambia will nominate Kezias Mwale for the position of Secretary General of the African Telecommunications Union, ATU.
To be stronger, to get together and be more strong in many aspects, many respects, including building our economies on the platform of this digital space. I think it will be a good fit. I would like to ask delegates here to reflect on that. I know these are competitive roles, but reflect and consider us through Mwale positively.
Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mlenga has emphasized the importance of engaging with the former leaders to identify more effective governance strategies. Speaking during a radio interview with the agency, Mr. Mlenga underscored the value of sharing knowledge between past and present administrations to better understand historical challenges and chart a constructive path forward through meaningful dialogue. He reaffirmed government's commitment to combating corruption, warning that any minister found engaging in corrupt practices will be held accountable under the law and face consequences independently of their position. Mr. Mulenga reminded fellow ministers that their tenure is not permanent, stressing that they will ultimately be judged by their actions and held responsible in accordance with the law. He also called on Zambians to reject complacency and embrace industrialization as a key driver of economic growth. Highlighting the recapitalization of the country's mining sector, the minister described it as a strategic initiative with the potential to significantly improve the livelihoods of citizens and contribute to national development.
You should be very careful on how you behave. One day, this government is not yours, it's for the people. You'll be held accountable. So when you say selective, I'll tell you the biggest problem we have in our country. Ile nebo mulenga ino. Ile ne mulenga kuti ndechite chintu. Lejo ndebomba. Nakawanu kwacha nchitwala kona kumfumu yandi kumushi. Na gufeli sukulu nshile kula kwa kumushi. Lilia banjikata because the banjikata na leiba. Elu nambo kulalila. Banjikata pantine bonne mulenga. Mwone nifale nchite fapatilation na liandi. But we bodi waleiba. Ile walelia. Walituelekwa kumushukumobe, walibukisha mtundu obe. Wawibukisha fedi la fiapena. We should stop using tribe as an excuse to be exonerated from the crimes or the issues that we did.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, has accused the opposition Patriotic Front, PF, of exploiting Catholic clergy to advance a tribalism agenda. Speaking at a press briefing, UPND Lusaka Province Chairperson Obvious Mwaliteta expressed concern that certain members of the clergy who are traditionally expected to foster peace, love and reconciliation are instead being used to make divisive tribal remarks. Mr. Mwaliteta alleged that the PF has a long-standing history of promoting tribalism and corruption and condemned the party for involving innocent ethnic groups in political schemes that threaten national unity. His remarks were in response to recent comments made by Father Oscar Mwansa, a Catholic priest based in Italy, who appeared on a podcast hosted by PF member Emmanuel Mwamba. During the program, Mr. Mwamba reportedly made statements perceived as promoting ethnic hegemony and undermining national cohesion. The UPND provincial chairperson further accused the PF of attempting to reintroduce political instability through tribal divisions, claiming the opposition lacks a credible strategy to unseat President Hakainde Hichilema and has therefore resorted to divisive tactics.
The biggest problem we have, colleagues, when you see people talking from high institutions, from the chains, they're not just talking from without. They think of the benefits they used to have. Now those benefits are not there. Hence now they are very annoyed, trying to trigger issues so that they can be relevant. Okay? It is not fair for a priest to utter those words he was trying to utter. There's no justification whatsoever. Whether he's in Italy, wherever he is, there's no justification. A father with a white collar here is an ambassador of peace.
Pharmaceutical expert Jerome Kanika has called on government through the Minister of Health, Dr. Elijah Muchima, to refrain from suspending the issuance of medical prescriptions. He cautioned that the reported 85% availability of medicines in public health facilities does not equate to the presence of all essential drugs required for treating priority health conditions. In an interview with the Sun FM TV News, Mr. Kanika emphasized that while the overall stock level may appear satisfactory, it does not guarantee the availability of critical medications. He underscored the importance of maintaining a 100% stock level for essential tracer drugs rather than the current 85% to ensure comprehensive patient care. Mr. Kanika clarified that prescriptions are issued when specific medicines are unavailable at certain facilities, allowing patients to obtain the missing medications externally. He noted that standard medical practice permits patients to receive at least 3 out of 4 prescribed drugs, with only the unavailable one sourced privately. Addressing allegations of malpractice, Mr. Kanika firmly rejected claims that prescriptions are being used to conceal theft or internal misconduct. His remarks come in response to concerns raised by Health Minister, who questioned the issuance of prescriptions for private purchase despite ministry data indicating that 85% availability of essential medicines in public health facilities nationwide.
There is not any facility in the world that is going to have even the stock of availability, talking of about 85% or 90%. That's what we need to understand. And not only that, we need to understand that when people are talking about stock availability, they count using what we call pressure drugs. Those pressure drugs are about between 80-something to 50 drugs. But you know very well what is the conditions and the disease patterns. There are many. And when you check, if the minister is saying 85%, it means that it's 85% of the 56 to 55, which we may talk about, they are about.
The Emerald and Semi-Precious Stones Mining Association of Zambia has highlighted the persistent challenges facing artisanal and small-scale miners, including inadequate equipment, limited access to financing, and insufficient geological data. While acknowledging the removal of taxes on mining equipment as a commendable move, ASMA's President Victor Kalesha noted that this measure alone is insufficient to address the sector's deeper structural issues. He welcomed the inclusion of an artisanal and small-scale mining fund in the national budget, emphasizing that its proper allocation and utilization could bring transformative change to the industry. Mr. Kalesha stressed the need for a comprehensive strategy to resolve the underlying causes of these challenges. He further appealed to government to provide support in procuring exploration machinery and mining tools that could be loaned to small-scale miners. Such assistance, he explained, would enable miners to focus on enhancing production and income generation without the burden of upfront capital investment.
Sector, but as it is, we've had several challenges that are well known of lack of equipment, lack of access to finance, and lack of proper geological reports. Unless this is addressed, then we would see that the disbursement or the utilization of this fund would create positive results. In terms of exemption of taxes or duty on mining equipment, well and good, it is quite a welcome move and a step in the right direction. But even if there is an exemption, we have no access to finance.
Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, Collins Nzovo, has condemned the rising incidents of vandalism and theft targeting water and sanitation infrastructure, particularly in the Copperbelt province. These acts continue to disrupt essential public services and impede economic activities. In the latest reported case, a 50-meter submersible electricity cable was stolen from the Mingomba Raw Water Pump Station, operated by Mulonga Water Supply and Sanitation Company in Chilabombwe. The theft resulted in the interruption of water supply to over 5,000 residents in Konkola Township and adversely affected operations at Lubambe Mine, posing a potential threat to production. Earlier in Chingola, the theft of a metallic drain valve valued at 12,000 kwacha caused significant water supply disruptions for more than 25,000 residents in Chiwempala Township and surrounding areas. Mr. Nzovo stated that government will not tolerate acts of sabotage perpetrated by a few selfish individuals seeking to undermine the progress being made in enhancing water and sanitation services nationwide. He emphasized that such actions inconvenience households, disrupt industrial operations, and pose a serious threat to national development. The minister urged communities to remain vigilant and promptly report any suspicious activities around water and sanitation facilities. He further cautioned scrap metal dealers against purchasing suspected stolen components, warning that those found complicit will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. This is contained in a statement issued by Prince Chiyuni, Principal Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation. We take a break. Still to come, sports news.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
The Football Association of Zambia FAS has appointed Dennis Makinka as head coach of the Under-17 boys national team. FAS General Secretary Machacha Shepande confirmed the appointment, noting that Makinka previously served as assistant coach for the same team. Shepande also announced that former Chipolopolo midfielder William Njovu will join the technical bench as assistant coach, while Charles Msonda will be retained as technical advisor. Makinka is now set to lead the junior Chipolopolo at the upcoming FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Meanwhile, a 44-member provisional squad is expected to enter camp in Lusaka today in preparation for the tournament next month. The team, comprising both locally and internationally based players, will remain in camp until October 20 before relocating to Dubai. During their stay in Dubai, the team is scheduled to play 3 friendly matches before heading to Qatar on October 31st ahead of their opening Group H fixture. FAS is expected to announce high-profile friendly matches this week as part of the pre-tournament preparations. Zambia has been drawn in Group H alongside Brazil, Honduras, and Indonesia. The team will face Indonesia on November 4th, Honduras on November 7, and conclude the group stage against Brazil on November 10. All matches will be played in Doha. This is according to a statement issued by FAS Head of Media and Communications, Nkweto Tembwe. To end the news, the headlines once again. Before we leave, in other sports news, Zambian Premier League ZPL National League side, Forest Rangers Football Club, have confirmed the appointment of Boyd Mulwanda as the new head coach. Speaking during the unveiling ceremony in Ndola today, club chairman Mulao Mwaba said Mulwanda has signed a 2-year deal with the Zafiko-sponsored side. Mulwanda has replaced Matthews and Ndlovu, who will be deputized by Kennedy Kashobondo as first assistant coach, while the rest of the technical bench remains unchanged. Prior to this appointment, Mulwanda was first assistant coach to George Luandamina at ZPL MTN Super League side in Changa Rangers Football Club. Mulwanda has had coaching stints at Buetcon FC and Kansanshi Dynamos Football Club on the domestic front. On the international stage, he was handed the mantle to drill the Chipolopolo Under-20 at the Junior COSAFA Championship and the Africa Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, in a move to strengthen the club's administrative capacity, the executive committee has appointed Raphael Walia as Forest Rangers' first full-time chief executive officer. This newly created position will enhance efficiency and professionalism in the management of club operations. Having served the club for over 8 years, Walia brings invaluable experience and deep institutional knowledge to his new role. The headlines once again. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on African countries to leverage the digital space as a catalyst for economic development. Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mlenga, has emphasized the importance of engaging with the former leaders to identify more effective governance strategies. The United Party for National Development, UPND, has accused the opposition Patriotic Front, PF, of exploiting Catholic clergy to advance a tribalism agenda. The Football Association of Zambia FAS has appointed Dennis Makinka as head coach of the Under-17 boys national team. Thank you for joining us. My name is Imelda Chikwati. Stay tuned.
The News, 88.5 Sun FM.
A comprehensive coverage of local and national news, business, politics, and sports. The Sun FM News was brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
Sometimes life happens, and we all need that extra something to sort things out. Stay ahead, even